Mayor, we are ready whenever you're ready.
Perfect, thank you. I call this meeting to order at 9 o'clock. If you will please stand and join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Can you please do roll call?
Mayor Lopez,
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra,
Present.
Councilmember Davis,
Here.
Councilmember Menke,
Here.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Here.
We had a quorum.
Thank you. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
There are no changes to the agenda.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move.
Second.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra, second by Councilmember Davis. I will not call the roll. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Menke,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Now we will take public comment from members of the audience. At this time, the public is encouraged to address the City Council on any matter that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. The public will also be given a chance to comment on matters which are on the posted agenda during City Council deliberation on those specific matters. Do we have any public comment?
We had no speakers, Mayor.
Seeing that there are none, we will now go on to new business. Item number one.
Item number 1 is amendment number 2 to the Memorandum of Understanding with the Vernon Professional Firefighters Association Local 2312. And Human Resources Director L is here to present the report.
Good morning, Mayor and members of the City Council. Thank you for coming together to address this item. Recently, the city has been notified by the California Public Employees Retirement System that a specific provision in the Fire Memorandum of Understanding did not meet the definition of special compensation that would allow the city to report the compensation to CalPERS for determining retirement benefits. Upon review of the circumstances of how this particular pay was applied to certain individuals in the Fire Association, it was clear that the pay was provided as an additional tier of longevity pay. This third tier longevity was implemented in July of 2008 and applied to employees hired after June 30th, 1994 and before December 31st, 1999, and provided an additional 5% compensation for employees who had 10 years of service with the city. The proposed amendment to the MOU corrects the misclassification of this tier of longevity for these employees. This tier applied to 12 current and 5 former City of Vernon Fire employees. Once approved, the city will make the corrections with CalPERS to properly classify this additional 5% premium. The city has been paying and reporting the compensation to CalPERS, and employees have been paying their required contributions on this pay. So there's no additional cost to the city or the affected employees. And that concludes my report, and I'm available for any questions you may have.
Does the council have any technical questions for staff?
Kind of. Just in reading, I understand that it's just going to change the name so they can get benefits from PERS, correct?
Correct.
But I just don't see that it says that it's just changing the language. I was a little confused when I first read it. So, I mean, I just wonder if we should say something to the effect that this changes the language in disagreement to this. I don't know, Arnold, any thoughts?
So it was paid as under a certain provision in the MOU. And when CalPERS questioned it, we looked at who got the pay and how they were getting it, how long they get it. And it was clear that it was a longevity because it was paid to employees at 10 years of service who were hired in this particular period of time. So in order for it to properly be classified, we're adding this section specifically into the longevity section of the MOU.
So it's not replacing, it's just in addition.
It is reclassifying the way it was reported as an SAI or service adjustment increase. That language would still be in the MOU. The service adjustment increase language is still in the MOU. And typically that language is used when there's a differential among employees or ranks. Say, for example, when an employee gets promoted, that employee should get 5% more than their highest paid subordinate. So sometimes we have to make temporary adjustments in pay for that promoted employee until the salaries, because of different steps that people might be on, until that equalizes and they can get that temporary pay removed. But in this case, we were paying this longevity under that SAI provision, but it really should have been classified as longevity. So we're just correcting the language to make it reflect that it was really longevity and adding that section in the MOU.
Because when I first read it, and it's probably just me, when I first read it, it looked like, oh my God, we're going all the way back here and paying these people all this money. This is going to cost a fortune. So it was just my reading, I guess.
Right, and it's not retroactive in that we've been paying the money, the additional 5% pay that this applies to. We've been paying it since 2008 and reporting it. They just now discovered it when they did a compensation review on somebody who was retiring. And that happens often with.
Could we do a footnote in there, like, so in case anybody looks at it in the future and, you know, today's date, council changed the language or something like that, not just do the line item that says longevity pay?
It'll be with the resolution that shows when it was approved.
Yeah,
and
but
then
on the MOU itself. Because a lot of people don't look at the resolution and the MOU together. They've always read it separately.
Okay. I'll talk with the clerk in the attorney's office and see how we can make sure that it's clear that it was approved today and applied to that particular
As
provision.
a footnote, the reason why CalPERS, you know, whatever the reason is, CalPERS audited,
Okay.
wanted this changed over, and that's the reason why we did it.
Okay.
So that in the future, there's no way that it could come back and say, hey, you owe us more money.
Right. We will also provide the documents approved today to CalPERS so that they will keep it in their file and understand that we've corrected this going forward.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Are there any further questions for staff? Seeing that there are none, are there any public comments?
We had no public comment, Mayor.
Thank you. May I have a motion for item number 1?
I'll move with the suggestion of putting that footnote in the MOU.
I'll second.
I think Councilmember Gonzalez.
Yeah, sure.
On a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra and second by Councilmember Gonzalez to adopt resolution number 2020-34, approving amendment number 2 with the Vernon Professional Firefighters Association. I will now call the roll. Mayor Lopez,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Ibarra,
Yes.
Councilmember Davis,
Yes.
Councilmember Menke,
Yes.
Councilmember Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
We will now go on to oral reports. City Administrator Fandino, do you have a report?
Yes, I do. Just a reminder that a special Vernon Housing Commission meeting will take place tomorrow at 9 a.m., which will include a tour of the city-owned housing. And a reminder that the city will be offering the Vernon residents free flu vaccinations on October 16th from 2 to 5 p.m. and October 17th from 10 to 2 p.m. Please contact the health department staff by October 14th to reserve your time slot. A reminder will be sent out today via social media and text to our residents. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. We will now go on to closed session for agenda item number 2.
Mayor, at this time, I'm going to have to recuse myself for closed session since this has something to do with me personally. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Mayor, at this time, we'd ask the city council recess into closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9 subdivision D2. There is one matter that we wish the council to consider based upon a correspondence received to the city dated October 2nd, 2020, from the Westford Law.
Okay.